Hey guys, it's me, Bobby. So for today's video, I just wanted to talk about something that happened this weekend and last week. Sorry my air conditioner is really loud. It's like over 90 degrees in my house, so I can't really turn it off. So today is Wednesday, the 17th, I'm pretty sure. I got back from Michigan from prom last Wednesday. I forget what date that was. But when we had to drive home from Michigan in one day because my dad was here and my dog was like really sick, Maxie. I'll put a picture of her right here. So yeah, Maxie had been really sick that week. We thought it was because she missed us and she had her period, so she always like is sick when that happens. But she like actually got worse and worse she got worser and worser every day, and then one day she was like perfectly fine. She ate everything and she was good, and then the next day is the day that she got really bad again. When we came home, usually she's like jumping up and down when we get home. She's a St. Bernard Greater Swiss Mountain Dog. She's really energetic, especially when people get home. And she was my dog, so she was always really excited when I got home. So when we got home, it was like midnight on Wednesday, and she just laid in the chair. We covered her with a blanket, and like she was breathing really bad and we didn't really know what was wrong, so we took her to one of the vets that was 24 hours. It was really hard to find a 24-hour vet here in New Jersey, so then we went there to make sure she was okay. They took her temperature and they listened to her heart, I guess, and her lungs and stuff, and they said that it was okay, like her breathing was okay, but you could tell by the way she was breathing that it was like really bad. It was like when kind of if you have a panic attack, I would say. So then they took us in a room and they said that they could do like all these tests on her that would be over $2,000, and we didn't have $2,000 up front to give them. It was $150 just to walk in there, and we could barely afford that. So then we had to say like, what else can you do? So they gave her some fluid under her skin, and they gave her a nausea shot so that she didn't throw up anymore. She wasn't drinking or eating at this point. She just really just laid down. So we had to leave because we couldn't afford that, and they wouldn't accept payments or anything like that, and they wouldn't do anything to her to help her before we went and paid. So then the next day we called our regular vet for her and the rest of our dogs, and they said that they would not take her because we went to the other vet the night before and we refused her treatment, which that is not really what happened. What happened was we couldn't afford the treatment, so you can't give something you don't have. So they refused her, and they said that if we couldn't give them money up front, that she obviously was not worth saving, which is not at all what we said, because we just couldn't afford it. It wasn't our fault that we didn't have $2,000 laying around at our house. Okay, so after that, we called a vet that we used a few times for our cats, and he said that he would see her right away. So we took her in that day, and her appointment was for like 11 o'clock. She was getting worse. I sat in the back seat with her on the ride there. It was like almost an hour away, so we didn't want to take her here and because it was so far away, but it seems like our last option for a chance at her living. So then what we did, her eyes were about rolling back in her head, and it was really hard to watch her like this because she's only 3 years old. She was only a puppy. And so then we got there and we brought her in the room, and she was drooling, like it looked like blood and stuff like that. So then the doctor's like, alright, well, I don't care how you pay me, when you pay me, I just want to save your dog. You're not leaving here until your dog is saved. So we gave it to him, and he said, why don't you go home, and I'll call you in a few hours, give you an update, see if you can take her home or not. And he was extremely nice to us. Me and my mom were crying. My dad was about to cry. So it really was nice to have someone be nice to us. So then he called a few hours later and told us that he was going to keep her overnight and that she was poisoned. He wasn't exactly sure how she was poisoned, but she was poisoned by something, and she had too much acid in her. So then we started thinking, and we've actually had a few problems with our neighbors, that our dog fence is right on their property. So, and they're always like yelling at our dogs and getting our dogs to bark, and then yelling at them, telling them to shut up. They're always videotaping us, seeing how many dogs we have. And so then the next day around 10 o'clock in the morning, they called again, and they told us that she was poisoned with antifreeze, which is even deadly to humans. So whoever did this didn't do it on accident. And her kidneys were only 50% working. And sorry, she was my baby. So her kidneys were starting to fail, and she wasn't breathing that well because like all the acid, and the kidneys couldn't break down the acid, I guess. He said it might help if you come in to see her, because it's really, it could help her get better faster or whatever. So then we went in to see her, and it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. She had an IV in right on her arm, and she kept trying to walk because she wanted to come see us. So I sat at the cage and pet her, and she was wagging her tail, and she was really happy to see me. I was beyond happy that she got to see me while she was not feeling well. I was happy she was wagging her tail and stuff. She seemed really happy. We left her leash there. He said that it helps them, reminds them of home, and he told us, like, you don't know what happens, you don't know what could happen, but she looks pretty good for what she's been through, and she's really fighting for her life right now. She's doing a lot better than most dogs would do in this situation, especially being a pup. So when he said that there was antifreeze, we asked if there was anything else that it could be, because she can't get to antifreeze at our house. He said that the only other thing would be a dog being really old, at least 8 years old, and you can't get it when you're 3. So that pretty much answers that question. He thinks that someone soaked like a piece of meat in antifreeze. It only takes 1 tablespoon of antifreeze to kill a dog her size. So we don't know how much she used, and apparently antifreeze is like really good to dogs, like it tastes like sugar or something. So they think that they threw it over the fence or something, and she ate it. So the day after we went and visited her, she passed away that morning. That was really hard for me and my family. We have 6 dogs, and we weren't really expecting any of our dogs to die, especially not our youngest one, and we were all really close to her, but mostly me, because she came up in my room all the time, and she was my baby. But yeah, we called the police and made a police report, and they said they would call the SPCA, and the SPCA pretty much said they can't do anything for us. There's no proof. They won't even come out and check our yard or anything. I was hoping they would come out and check to make sure there's nothing else or anything like that near the fence. We've gone out there and looked a few times, but we really don't know what we're looking for necessarily. Our dogs are really scared to go near the that side of the fence, which really indicates that something happened there. They're all really sad because their dogs are like brothers and sisters and they're really close. Or one dog like doesn't even want to go outside anymore. And every time a dog like looks like it's sick, we get scared because we don't know what they could have had. So yeah, I just wanted to share this because poisoning a dog is a horrible thing. I don't care if you hate people. I don't care if you hate the people and the dog. Why are you gonna hurt the dog? The dog didn't do anything to you. The most she ever did was bark at them. I don't understand why someone would do this. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry if something like this has ever happened to your dog, because it feels absolutely horrible having this happen to a member of our family, pretty much. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like it and comment, and let me know what I should do in the future for a video. I know I haven't done a video in a really long time. I've been super busy with prom and going back and forth to Michigan, but next week, Wednesday of next week, I will make a vlog of me going to Michigan to my boyfriend's for his graduation and his graduation party. So I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!